So we just witnessed Islam Makhachev absolutely shut down Jack Della Maddalena in one of the most dominant championship performances that you will see. And I fully intended to come on here and just kind of give Islam a load of praise. But I honestly kind of want to go on a little bit of a rant to kind of start this video. So I've been watching a lot of reactions, the kind of big YouTubers and stuff like that, about their reaction to the fight. And I actually am in shock, the absolute dis-fucking respect that people put on Makhachev and put on Khamzat's name. Them two in particular. These two have one boring fight, okay? They have one boring fight where they fucking maul the defending champion in a different weight class, and everyone bangs on about how boring of a style it is. How they just ruined the sport. Name me one Islam Makhachev title performance that was not entertaining. Name me one Khamzat Chimaev fight where he didn't pick someone up and squash them or give us a fight of the year contender. Name me one apart from their last two performances. People are so fucking ungrateful and so fucking stupid that they forget this shit. They're fucking morons half the time, the way these people act. You know exactly who I'm on about. You know, MMA Guru is probably the biggest one. I don't even give a fuck. He literally will ridicule anybody for grappling. Now, I've always hated on Merab, but Merab has always been that style. Nothing fucking changed. He finished Charles Oliveira. He finished Dustin Poirier. He gave us an absolute banger against Fogg. He absolutely finished Fogg. He finished Renato Moicano. He finished Dan Hooker. But you get one bad fucking performance where you 50-45 a fucking defending champion in a different weight class, and apparently everybody has a fucking problem with that. Was last night entertaining? No. It wasn't. It wasn't an entertaining fight. This wasn't a close fight. Islam, I'm going to actually start talking about the fight now. Islam Makhachev absolutely dismantled them. As you can see, 18 significant strikes and 30. Very poor. Very, very fucking poor. Total strikes for Makhachev were 140. Total strikes for Jack Della Maddalena were 30. JDM looked like... This was the welterweight Khamzat versus Dricus. JDM looked like he hadn't a single off-his-back wrestling performance in his entire career. Makhachev just went in there and absolutely dismantled him. Absolutely dismantled him. Absolutely chewed up the calf kick. And that played a massive factor to him. Maybe that's why he couldn't scramble back up. He couldn't get the power off his leg because his leg was completely fucked. Absolutely outstriking him as well. Everything about Islam Makhachev looked absolutely phenomenal in this fight. Does that mean it was entertaining? No, this was not an entertaining fight. I did not enjoy this fight. I appreciated the fact that Makhachev became the GOAT, 50-45ing a double champ that was 15 pounds heavier and looked bigger on the scales than him. I appreciate that factor. It was not an entertaining fight, but I respect the fact that not everyone can have an entertaining fight. McGregor didn't have entertaining fights. What was it? The fucking one we went to decision with Max Holloway was not an entertaining fight. You never hear anything about that. It's just a stupid mindset to have, in my opinion. You know, these guys have one fight that's kind of shit, and then everyone just ridicules them. The style itself, you have to give Makhachev credit, but I also think you did fucking nothing to advance in a lot of positions. You kind of held JDM down, and you know, there is the argument of why would you run the risk, but it's a damage-based scoring. Not saying JDM deserved absolutely any points in this fight whatsoever, but I didn't think they ever should have been stood up. You know, Makhachev was able to get JDM's back a bit. I think it was like once or twice. Apart from that, like he just dismantled them on the ground and he mauled them, and it was not a competitive fight. It wasn't close. It wasn't entertaining, but I'm okay with Makhachev having a bad fight, because that's what this was. It was a bad fight where you 50-45 a defending champion in a different weight class. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest mixed martial arts fighter of all time. He has been, I've always said he beats Ilia Topuria. He beats Ilia Topuria. Just remember, if you ever feel stupid, there were actually people picking Arman Sarukian to beat Islam Makhachev, which is, you know, blows my mind. But Islam looked very sound on the feet. I'd never thought, you know, JDM like a moment or two in the pocket, but apart from that, he never really looked like he was ever going to land anything significant. Probably because he didn't even get a chance. Makhachev shot in the first round, kind of grabbed his leg, kind of spun him and then sat him down. Beautiful takedown. Very simple. JDM just was not used to that style of grappling. He was not used to having high-level wrestlers. Ba Muhammad was the first one. And we'll get on to that in the later bit with Leon Edwards. Oh, fucking tragic. But am I happy Makhachev won? I am. I would love to see him versus Shavkat next. I think that should be the next fight. It's a weird one, because you have Michael Morales and Carlos Prates, who were the winners on this card, and both won in equally devastating fashion. Michael Morales probably more impressively, because he was in the first round. Leon won the first round against Carlos Prates. So Michael Morales definitely stole the highlight here, and especially since he took out Brady, who took out Leon. So Michael Morales has officially announced himself as probably in a better position than Ian Gary, if we're being honest, with a win. Maybe not, actually, no. Ian Gary probably deserves it if he beats Bilal Muhammad. But it's going to be very interesting to see who's next for Makhachev. I suspect he'll probably have 2 more fights. It's weird because you can't, if Shavkat pops up in the mix, can you really give Shavkat a title, or Ian Gary a title shot over Shavkat when Shavkat has a win on him? Shavkat was never booked to fight Bilal again after Bilal had pulled out, so you can't ridicule him for taking someone on short notice. And, you know, he just was injured when the title fight happened, hence why JDM had that belt. That's the only reason that fight happened. So can you really take it away from Shavkat? Does Shavkat need to fight one more? Does Shavkat fight Michael Morales versus Carlos Prates? I think Prates versus Moraes makes sense. I'll get onto that later. But the actual JDM versus Makhachev fight, it was boring. It was boring. But guess what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with one boring performance. I'm okay with Makhachev dismantling a champion in one performance. He finished Charles Oliveira. He finished Volkanovski. He finished Dustin Poirier. He finished Renato Moicano. You do one fucking performance that's boring, and all of a sudden everything changes. No one appreciates the style. Same fucking thing with Khamzat Chimaev. One performance, and everyone jumps on the bandwagon of, oh, these guys are ruining the sport. They're this, that, and the fourth. Merab Dvalishvili is ruining the fucking sport. Ruining the greatest division. And I hope Jan fucking blasts his chin off. As long as I will never root for Merab. I respect Merab. That style that he's done his whole career is ruining the sport. Not Makhachev finishing Dustin Poirier or Volk or Oliveira or Hooker or Moicano finishing all these guys, but one fucking performance, and these fucking experts will come on here and say it's ruining the sport. Full of fucking shit. Full of fucking shit. Was it boring? Yes. And does styles like that ruin the sport? Yes. I agree. Merab is the prime example you want to go at. Not Makhachev for having one fucking performance where he shut down a champion. But apart from that, Islam Makhachev is the greatest fighter of all time. The debate is quite clearly over, in my opinion. It was never there to begin with. I always thought Makhachev was number 1. I'm fucking wham. And incredible stuff. Really, really happy with Makhachev winning. I obviously want to see him do more. I want to see more striking exchanges. I want to see him more back takes to where he might be able to get a submission in, or lands very good ground and pound, or just have some entertaining scrambles. Like, look at Sarukian versus Mateus Gamrot. Us as MMA fans, we always go back to that fight as massively entertaining grappling, and that's what it was. It was incredible. But you got to put a little bit of blame on JDM for being able to do absolutely fucking jack fucking shit when he hit that mat. It was a disgraceful performance. He was mentally broken after the second round. He was wincing in pain as well, which was very sad to see because I like JDM. But he was broken. He had nothing for him. And in the 4th and 5th, I thought he just kind of was coasting, just kind of trying not to get taken down. Wasn't really in it to win it anymore. And Makhachev just went in there, did a job of him. Zhang Weili versus Valentin Shevchenko was boring as fuck as well. Another display of Valentina Shevchenko's dominance, but I did not find this. I did not mean to click that. I did not find this entertaining. It was boring as fuck as well. I'm not saying the Makhachev fight was entertaining by any means, but I'm just saying this is one performance. Valentina Shevchenko has given us good performances. She's given us boring performances too. Not much I really want to talk about here. Zhang Weili, I thought you were going to win. I did absolutely fucking awful with picks here. I think the only pick that I got right was Benoit Saint Denis. I picked Bo Nickel. I picked Gregory Rodriguez. I think I picked Tracy Cortez. I picked Wellmaker as well. But yeah, we'll go with this one. This is kind of one I want to talk about as well, like an awful lot. Sean Brady, what the fuck were you doing? What on fucking God's green earth were you doing trying to raise Michael Morales up, standing in front of him, trying to get his like Instagram or Snapchat, not exchanging? You were just standing there. Where was your takedowns? I couldn't believe my fucking eyes what how fucking awful of an IQ you had in that fight. I was so high on Sean Brady. When he beat Leon Edwards, I thought, yeah, this guy is fucking legit. But if you don't shoot takedowns, your grappling means fucking nothing. Michael Morales is fucking good. He's good. And I thought he was overrated. But watching him since the Contender Series, I thought he wasn't that good. I thought Brady was going to dog walk him. If I'm being honest, I thought Brady was going to walk him down. I thought I'm going to get to the Leon fight, bro. I'm fucking out bad. But I thought Brady was going to be able to there. I just saw the grappling in the Calvin Gastelum fight. I saw the grappling in the Leon Edwards fight. I saw the way Leon did extremely well against Kamaru Usman. That fell. I saw the way Leon did extremely well against Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington. I thought Brady's grappling was absolutely S tier level shit. But boy, was I wrong. And Michael Morales really proved me wrong in this one. His striking looked unbelievable. The range that guy's able to focus. He was loading up. That's something I would worry about if I'm a Michael Morales fan. Is that he was loading up on a lot of right hands in the first round. I know he had Brady hurt and he was probably just trying to find that moneymaker. But you get into the later rounds, you know, those kind of swinging massive fucking right hands, they're going to add up. And I just don't think Michael Morales, he just looks so good. I don't think Michael Morales is going to lose to many guys in this division. I think him versus Carlos Prates next, I was talking to my friend about that. Him versus Carlos Prates next is absolutely incredible. It's one of the greatest striking fights that we can actually ask for in the UFC at the moment. But I was just really just like taken back by Sean Brady's performance. If I'm being honest with you, I was just kind of like, maybe you didn't even get a chance to implement the grappling because when you got hurt, you were kind of just in survival mode. But Makhachev shot 40 seconds in, or a minute and a half in. Fucking shoot the second you can when you're fighting a rangy striker that can bang. And he found that out the hard way. For Michael Morales, damn, future champion. For Sean Brady, maybe JDM next. I'm not necessarily mad at that. Maybe a rematch with Bilal Muhammad if he loses to Ian Gary, or even if he wins, they're not going to do Bilal versus things. So there's options here. Shavkat Rakhmonov is still in this division as well. I think a lot of people forget that as well. And yeah, incredible performance from Michael Morales. Really, really surprised me there. Did not expect you to be that good. Sean Brady shit his fucking pants. Just did not shoot a fucking takedown. 8 total strikes. 3.5 minutes in. I was flabbergasted, if I'm being honest with you. I genuinely thought Brady was a lock. I thought Brady's decision was a fucking lock. And the way he was talking all week, I'm not madly surprised, because he was saying, yeah, fight this kid and we're gonna fuck someone else up. And I'm just like, really overlooked him a little bit. And I overlooked him. I thought this was like a routine for Brady, but those flashy coats, man, that shit just boosts power for about 5%. Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates was one of the saddest, most hurt I've ever been in a fight. And, you know, bro, it fucking sucked. I was taking one of those guesses. I thought Leon would win. But I thought the first round was exactly how I thought the fight was just going to play out. But Prates hit him with a beautiful left hand. Down went Leon. It was almost like the first round went too much like I thought. I genuinely thought that first round was everything that I was saying in my video. And I made a video saying Prates won't have the answer. I thought Leon's head movement was going to be better. I thought Leon did very well with the low kicks. I thought Leon implemented the grappling perfectly. And I just thought, this was in the first round, I thought the first round was exactly how I thought the fight was going to play out the whole fight. And Prates just would get more and more frustrated, load up, and then the takedowns would become a little bit easier. And then Leon would start to rip to the body, but then the low kicks as well. And it would kind of all just pop off for Prates at once. And then he wouldn't have the answers for him all at once. But he had the answer. He had a fucking straight left hand down the fucking middle. Yeah, it was heartbreaking, bro. Leon Edwards is my favorite fighter in the UFC, so this was, the way he just fell as well was just, fucking awful. You know when your favorite fighter gets knocked out? We all felt it against, when Max Holloway lost. We all felt it when Volk lost. It was incredible. It was incredible performance of Carlos Prates in the second round. First round didn't look exactly great. Ian Gary's win over Carlos Prates on short notice is truly stacking up, but Prates can finish anybody in this division. He's got extremely good hands, extremely good power. So him versus Michael Morales is really a range game. It's about who can land first. I'd probably lean towards Michael Morales next. If they do that fight, I think the UFC will do that fight. It's quite interesting to see when is Shavkat going to be back. I know he had a family issue there with his, some accident or something, so maybe he won't be back for another while, but Shavkat would want to get back in there as soon as possible, as soon as he can, because, Prates racks up and win against Michael Morales, and maybe one more. Shavkat's win against Ian Gary maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, isn't exactly going to add up. Now, as long as Ian Gary is the one who holds the key to this, as long as Ian Gary is the one where people look at, he's next for the belt, I think that's the prime position Shavkat wants to be in. Because he can say, hey, look, I beat this guy in my last fight, and I was scheduled to fight him. Bilal Muhammad, the champion, he pulled out. This is my title shot. I want my title shot. I deserve my title shot. So as long as Ian Gary is seen as the rightful number one contender, because at the moment, we have to wait to see how the weekend goes. Because if Bilal wins, I think Michael Morales should be next. I thought Sean Brady should have been next before this. I genuinely thought, fucking Brady, man. Oh my god. I want to go back to that, because that's just fucking pissing me off. Why are you just standing in front of him? Like, are you trying to raise him up or something? You're just standing there. Shoot a takedown. Implement grappling. Try get him against the cage. What are you striking for? What are you doing? It actually pissed me the fuck off, because I know Sean Brady. I thought Sean Brady was so good. I thought Sean Brady was so fucking good, but damn, bro. We'll go back to this. Carlos Prates can finish anyone in this division. Leon Edwards is so finished, bro. He's so finished, and that 9-fight win streak to fight for the title. You're gonna have to go on another one. You're gonna have no fight. You're on a no fight win streak at the moment. 9-fight win streak to get the title. You're gonna have to go on another one of those. Because the way you lost there today, and the way you lost against Brady and Bilal, terrible look. And the questions now are looking. I see a lot of people saying Leon beat a washed Kobe. He beat a concussed Usman, and he got lucky with the head kick. Facts. Yeah, it's a shit place to be for Leon Edwards. Will he retire? No, I don't think so, but he won't be in there before the end of the... Well, obviously not, but he won't be in there, I'd say, maybe this time next year, maybe early 2027, if I'm being honest with you. Don't see Leon coming back for another time. Maybe him versus Buckley could be a good scrap, but I think Buckley will probably beat him as well. But I'm really on the Carlos Prates hype. I'm loving Carlos Prates' fights. I love how active he is. He doesn't take that much damage, which is really good. And he seems like he wants to get in there. I think him versus Michael Morales is a generationally big fight. And I would absolutely love to see it. But I want to give a round of applause. For Benoit Saint-Denis. He took out someone that the MMA world doesn't like, and that the MMA world has been pissed off at since he beat Renato Moicano. And I want to say, a lot of people think me and Benoit Saint-Denis have beef. Me and Benoit Saint-Denis are cool. We're cool. I exposed him many years ago, about a year and a half ago, when he fought Dustin Poirier. Me and BSD are cool. The beef is over. We've hashed it out. We've talked. I exposed him. He wasn't happy. It's over. I can fully sit here and say, just thank you. Thank you for beating Beneil Dariush in a way that justifies him retiring. Because fucking nobody was ever hyped for a Beneil Dariush fight in their life. And nobody ever will be anymore, because he's probably going to retire. But there's fuck all to say about this apart from Benoit Saint-Denis since the Renato Moicano fight a year ago. Now, maybe the Moicano fight was a bit like... I still think Saint-Denis is better than Moicano. I do. And it's easy to say that now, but I'd pick Saint-Denis. If you go back and actually watch the Moicano fight, Moicano just gets him in a fucking incredible position, mad early, and just does irreversible damage for the rest of the round. Like a 10-8, 10-7 maybe. So Saint-Denis was in a really bad spot really early in that fight. I think he's one of the best strikers in lightweight. I would love to see Benoit Saint-Denis versus Rafael Fiziev. I would love to see Benoit Saint-Denis versus Justin Gaethje. The way he was able to shut down Mauricio Rufy as well, which was one of the most underrated wins I think I have seen in the last long time, if I'm being honest with you, because Saint-Denis, I was sure, Mauricio Rufy was going to win that fight. I thought Mauricio Rufy's... my predictions have been fucking awful. This was the worst predictions I've ever done. So I had JDM, Zhang Weili, Sean Brady, Leon Edwards, and I picked Saint Denis. I think I picked him via TKO in the second round. But dreadful predictions here from the MMA Preacher. Fucking dreadful, but... Yeah, if you go back and look, Saint Denis probably is better than Moicano, but, you know, just got in a bad position early and that happens. Beneil Dariush, you're going to retire now. Goodbye. I won't care. I won't miss you. Not even 1% of me will miss you. So, yeah, for Saint Denis, I would love to see Rafael Fiziev next. I think that's a great fight. I think that's a great stylistic striking fight. I thought the Mauricio Rufy fight was extremely good stylistically wise, and that was on a fight night card. Why not book this in a Paris fight night main event? I want to see it. BSD versus fucking... You remember who I said. Oh my god, Rafael Fiziev. Bo Nickel, head kick KO'd someone. And the hate on Bo Nickel is one that needs to be studied. He was never exactly popular. He was just kind of forced down our throat to be in this NCAA All-American wrestler. And I've been watching Bo Nickel for the last nearly 4 years. 3.5 years when he made his MMA debut. I've been watching him on Masvidal's promotion. I watched him on it. So I've been very familiar with Bo Nickel all these years. I don't think Bo Nickel is ever going to be a champion. I just don't think that. But that doesn't mean Bo Nickel can't compete in higher competition. Very interesting to see because middleweight has no wrestlers. I don't think he beats anyone necessarily good at the moment. Maybe give him like a Roman Kopylov, who just lost to Gregory Rodriguez. Maybe Bo Nickel versus Marvin Vettori could be a fun fight. But, you know, maybe it was good that he lost to get all the spotlight off him and all the hype and all the pressure. I'm not necessarily mad at Bo Nickel for the hype kind of derailing, because sometimes that can just up a fighter. You know what I mean? He gets them, skyrockets them. But Bo Nickel looked decent in this fight. Not much really to be said. Good head kick KO, and I'm happy for him. Gregory Rodriguez, you know, these kind of predictions no one really cares about. Yeah. Pretty fucking solid card. You know, a few decisions early on, but the main card was incredible. Tracy Cortez got submitted as well. You know, Malcolm Wellmaker, we all felt that one. But yeah, Aaron Blanchfield got the job done there. Roman Kopylov lost via decision as well. Main card was absolutely exceptional, especially these 3 fights in particular were absolute bangers. Fucking loved it. And as much as my favourite fighter lost, I wouldn't even say we live to fight another day, because Leon Edwards probably will never fight again. But, you know, lots to be taken here from the welterweight division. Very interesting to see what happens in Islam Makhachev next. Very, 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 very curious. What happens if I click his name? Very curious to see where Makhachev goes from here. So he's clearly the GOAT of the sport. He's clearly the pound for pound number 1. He always was, but they just gave it to Ilya because they wanted, you know, Ilya was kind of hot shit at the moment. So it just made a few extra headlines. But as regards who's the best pound for pound fighter in the world at the moment, it always was Islam Makhachev. It always will be Islam Makhachev. Do that to a reigning champion. Like I said, look at this. So he's on a 15-fight win streak, 14 wins by submissions, and 5 wins by knockouts in 28 fights. 1 loss. It's a shame he's not undefeated, but then again, that could have elevated his career even more. Could have made him learn more lessons. What I think could be next for Makhachev is going to be very interesting. I think Ian Gary at Doha, Qatar, which I will be at, is going to be absolutely massive. Very, very intrigued, very, very excited to see, because if Ian loses, then you clearly have Michael Morales versus Carlos Prates in a number 1 contender fight. But I'll be real, I ain't trying to see Carlos Prates versus Islam Makhachev. I just don't think that suits. I just don't think that feels right. I don't think that feels right. Am I the only one that thinks that? I just think that's such a one-sided fight to where Makhachev would just absolutely bulldoze him and absolutely barge through him. And I just ain't trying to see it, but Islam Makhachev is the greatest fighter of all time. I'm happy that we have a definitive GOAT. I'm happy that it's an entertaining one. You know, one boring fight against a current champion who couldn't do fucking shit, and you absolutely destroy him. I'm not saying it's an entertaining fight, but you have to go off fucking Marab. MMA Guru, in fairness, has gone on Marab just as much as me, so I respect him for that. I love Guru. He's my GOAT. But apart from that, Islam Makhachev's the GOAT, and I'm very excited to see what's next. don't really feel sorry for JDM because you just looked like you had in a wrestling class. And Ian Gary said it was a pitiful performance. It was a shocker. It was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. Now, he could have been injured. We don't know. We don't really care as MMA fans do when someone's injured. Let's be honest with you. But like, subscribe, all that good shit, and thanks for watching.